Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Classified Kremlin documents suggest the Russian despot has a maniacal plot to completely dismantle Ukraine's government while also weakening the US and stopping any serious Western influence. The world is waiting with bated breath to see how Putin will respond to the US proposed 30-day ceasefire. Donald Trump has already praised the plan which Ukraine has accepted, with US officials now saying the ball is in Russia's court to agree. But a new leaked document, uncovered by the Washington Post, claims to show that Putin has no intention of saying yes to any deal. The document, first written up in February by an influential think tank with ties to Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, shows how Moscow has a list of brutal demands they want in order to end the war. Russia wants a weakened US when it comes to negotiations to give them the upper hand in any deals being made, the docs say. They feel the best way to do this is by destroying Ukraine on the battlefield, according to the document prepared for the Kremlin. It also labels Trump's proposed plan to secure complete peace on the Ukrainian border within 100 days as impossible to realize. Any lasting peaceful resolution cannot happen before 2026, it adds. The Kremlin is also said to be looking for the complete dismantling of the current Ukrainian government, including their main enemy Volodymyr Zelensky. The document demanded, the current Kiev regime cannot be changed from within the country. Its complete dismantling is necessary. It also calls for the creation of a buffer zone in the northeast of Ukraine as well as a demilitarized zone in the south near to annexed Crimea. This ties into Russia's desire for the world to acknowledge the land they have illegally captured during the 3-year war as rightfully belonging to them. The Kremlin have said any peace deal cannot happen if they aren't given sovereignty over the areas in Ukraine which they have already seized. Any looming idea of European peacekeepers patrolling the border has also been dismissed in the documents, as well as by several sources close to the Kremlin. Other demands being drafted up by Putin's cronies include the lasting belief that Kiev won't be allowed a NATO membership, the sources added. Russia has been unwavering in their stance on Ukraine joining the alliance, even describing the move as a clear escalation. In the past few months, US officials have publicly agreed that any NATO membership for Ukraine is unlikely to happen. It comes despite Zelensky constantly campaigning for them to be allowed to join as part of a deterrence against any further Russian attacks. The FSB-linked document also lays out how Russia may look to stoke rising tensions between the US, China and the European Union. They hope this will open up global politics and allow the focus to be taken away from them agreeing to a ceasefire deal, it has been said.
Another area they could exploit is by swooping in on their own minerals deal with Trump as opposed to Ukraine. Kiev and Washington have spent weeks trying to get the key agreement over the line, but it has remained unsigned. The documents show how Russia may decide to hijack the deal and further plunge Ukraine into economical darkness. They could offer up their own minerals, which would come from the territories they have occupied in Ukraine, such as the Donbas region, where it claims there are rare earth metal reserves. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said he was unaware of such recommendations and that the Kremlin was working with more thoughtful options. Russia's war plot comes as relations between the US and Ukraine appear to be at their strongest for some time. Washington and Kiev held positive crunch talks on Tuesday with a number of key points drafted up to help Ukraine in their fight against despot Putin and finally end the 3-year conflict. The US gave Ukraine assurances that they will turn back on intelligence sharing and security assistance after Trump axed support earlier this month. Trump later warned he could cripple Russia's economy if Putin refuses to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine. The US president said there are things he could do that wouldn't be pleasant in a financial sense. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio also said, if their response is no, it would make their intentions clear.